dentist, and his name was Henry, and this is a slide about his budget.
Henry's occupation is a dental hygienist. He makes his debt is $9,820. His annual salary is before taxes is $56,890. His tax rate is 28%. The amount of taxes he pays is $15,929.20. His annual salary after taxes is $40,960.80. His monthly income is $3,413.40, and his status is single with no kids.
You're going away.
Our prediction for the year one budget is the housing would cost $1,024.02. 30% of the budget. The groceries would cost $682.68. That would be 20% of the budget. The transportation would cost $512.01, and that would be 15%. Debt payment would be $178.64, which is about 5.23335%. The savings that we put away would be $648.54, which is 19%. And the extra money for other things would be $367.50, which is about 10.7665%.
The year one budget with the actual expenses. This is the table that we got on the Excel worksheet, which will be presented later. As you can see, we paid a lot less for the housing and groceries, but we paid a bit more for than we had actually planned for the transportation and savings. And we were actually able to afford all our financial goals with the savings that we were able to put away for the year one, and even be able to cover the situational event, which will be explained in the next slide. Alright, we had a situational event at the end of year one. For our job, nothing extraordinary really happened at all. For our family event, Henry now has a child, a baby girl, and because he's single, he gets $300 in child support every month, or at least that's how it's said to collect $300 if you're single. For the surprise event, it stated that because this was Henry's first kid, he had to pay $9,000, and it reminded you that you needed to have diapers in your extras budget as well. And we calculated this into our year two budget by adding the $300 a month from the child care to our monthly income, but stating that the monthly income plus the child care was kind of the combined amount of that, and then subtracting $9,000 from our savings at the end of year one, and then we added the we got the diapers in the budget as well as any sort of childcare that we had to pay. Or we got $300 every month for childcare.
Our year two budget prediction states that the housing would cost $900 a month, the groceries would cost $297, the transportation would cost $539, the debt payment would be $178.64, the savings put away would be about $1,293.76, and the extra money for other things would be $505. We were much closer on this prediction to the actual amounts that Henry spent on his budget than we were on year one.
Year two budget with the actual expenses. As you can see, we have the table from our Excel worksheet, and because we had quite a bit of savings in the bank, we were able to afford all of our savings goals as well as the amount of savings we had at the end of year two. We stuck way more to our budget in year two because we had more of an idea of what we were actually going to spend, as well as we were able to base this off of Henry's actual expenses from year one. the situational event we had at the end of year 2. For our job, we collected a one-time $5,000 bonus for Henry apparently being the superb dentist. From our family event, his mother moved in with him, and but chipped in $750 into the savings. For the surprise event, our washing machine broke down, so we had to pay $400 from our savings to be able to replace it. And we calculated this into our year 3 budget by adding the $5,000 from the bonus and the $750 from Henry's mother to the savings account that we had. Granted, this was before we knew we could put this towards debt, which we probably would have done had we done this differently, or had we known that. Accounting for the extra mouth to feed was one of the things that we had to do because Henry's mom moved in with him, and then we had to go through and have the grocery plan that had 3 people, which was 2 adults, which was about $739, which was a lot more than just having Henry and his kid. And for the washing machine, we just subtracted $400 from the savings.
Our year 3 budget prediction: the house that would cost $900, the groceries would cost $739, the transportation would cost $539, the debt payments would be $178.64. The savings put away would be $851.76. The extra money for items would be $505. We had to cut down on the amount we were putting away for savings because we had to pay a lot more in groceries for Henry's mother living with him.
Alright, this is the last year that we had for the actual expenses. This is, again, the table that we had from our Excel worksheet, which has all the expenses already laid out. And then, even with the lowered amount of money going into the savings, we were able to afford our savings goals. The budget has gotten easier to make for Henry because we kind of have a consistent amount that we know that we're going to be spending, and we can accurately predict what we need to have, or at least what we're going to spend. And we also have been getting better at adjusting the budget for little things like the life events that we've been having to adjust the budgets for, as well as different things. There we go. The savings that we had was, as you've undoubtedly seen from the budget slides, that we were able to meet our financial goals. Here are the goals that we had set for Henry at the beginning of each year. For year 1, it was a video game console for $400, and as well as a class at the local university, which was $2,500. For year 2, the newest tablet, which was $750, and the living room furniture, which was $1,500. And because we had quite a bit of money in savings at that point, we decided that the year 3 savings goal would be $12,000, or the jet ski, that was $12,000. And for the rest of the money that we had each year after the savings goals, we just kept it in the savings account for any rainy day or any sort of thing that we need it for. We ended up with a savings account that is $20,071.36.
We have successfully kept Henry from going into more debt that he already had, as well as kept him able to have a bit of fun with his financial goals. We have also been able to support a kid, Henry's mother, within his budget.
I think we may have accidentally skipped a slide. Can you go back to slide 11? There we go. The debt was, he was originally in $9,820 in debt, which was the $178.64 that we were actually spending every month to try and put away for that debt. The bank we got the money from was the Huffington Bank, with the lowest amount of interest, as well as the smallest amount of time that we'd have to be in debt. which was about 60 months, and then the interest was 3.5%, which was a lot less money than what you'd have to pay if you were doing the other banks. And we had initially planned that the debt would be about 5 years or so, because the whole project we thought was going to be 5 years, but we ended up stopping around year 3. So within 2 more years, we would have actually paid off the debt entirely. Yeah, go to the Excel sheet now. This was our year 1 monthly budget plan. As you can see, we got the percentages that we put towards the budget for the year 1. The actual percentages. These aren't the estimated ones. This is more or less the for the actual expenses. As you can see, we've got a lot of money within the differences because we weren't accurately predicting for year 1 because we had no idea what we'd really spend. We kind of just used someone else's budget plan towards that. And overall, we didn't have any more debt than we started out with, which is pretty good. This is the year 2 monthly budget plan. We had the new percentages, the revised amount of money that we had spent with the child support. As you can see in the Excel sheet, we kind of put the monthly income with child support so that we can kind of just keep it all tidy in one place where we're getting the amount of money from. And finally, this is the year 3 budget plan, where we had the revised groceries as well as savings because of the mother staying with us, as well as several other things. And then we also got the percentages of the actual percentages of what we spent and all that.